I presume I'm live right now, and hopefully I'm not sideways. Hopefully I'm up the right way. And today what we're going to do is we're going to work on our watercolour that some of you might have started last week, where I showed you how to take old, spent, dried up markers, ones that maybe have been pushed in or they're all fluffy and fuzzy, and adding water to them, and then they turn into beautiful watercolours. So I'm just going to show you one that I completed just earlier. Here it is. So I'm going to show you how to create this, and I'm going to give you some ideas as to what you can then turn it into. The colours are beautiful. Now I've kept to all of your main colours, all of the colours that you should have in your texture collection, and we're just going to use some water to clean out our brush in between colours. And I'm using a similar brush to what we used last week with our what did we make? Our coffee watercolour rabbits for Easter. I hope everyone had a great Easter, and for those of you that watched last week and joined our art class, thank you very much for that. And I loved seeing all of your beautiful rabbits too. They were gorgeous. I love seeing them pop up on my Facebook page. So what I'm going to do is I've just rinsed out my brush so it's nice and damp, and I'm just dipping it into my first colour. And now I've got, I'm using drawing paper again, similar to what we used last week. If you do have watercolour paper, then that would work even better. So we're just going to start by making a circle, and then we're going to make sure our brush is fully loaded, so lots of colour in it, and we're going to colour in our circle. We're going to leave the centre like that, rinse our brush, and I'm going to go a bit of red, and in the middle, start in the middle, gradually go out to where the pink starts, and then I'm just going to leave it. And you can see that it is starting to bleed into the pink. So I'm going to add some more colours now. So what have we got here? Orange. Beautiful colours again. Now, as with normal watercolours, you can add more water to them to make them more washed out, or you can add less water to them and have them so that they're more vibrant. Some yellow in the middle of this one. Let it bleed into the other colour. Now I might start with a bit of red. I'm thinking that I probably should have given people a reminder that it was on. I think I might do that next week. Just a reminder the day before maybe. And I might put some red into this one, and we'll see what beautiful colours it comes up with. Oh, we're going into purple. So you can see here, oops, I'm getting a little bit back to front. Oh, starting to bleed and dribble out to the edge. You'll be able to see a mistake that I made earlier with another one that I did earlier, but that's okay. We can just work it into our design. So I'm just going to create another circle. Doesn't matter if they're all different sizes. Different sizes are even better. So orange, we might have a bit of pink in the middle of this one. I usually stick to warm colours together, cool colours together. That way they blend nicer together. We don't end up with any crazy looking murky colours. But sometimes you can use the primaries together. So we've got red here. And what I'm going to do, I've added blue and red together and made a beautiful purple. So I've got red here. Now I'm going to add some yellow in the middle, and then swirl it out into the red, and you can see it makes a beautiful orange. I love the colours that these make. So I'm just going to do a few more. Now you can see that I didn't just stick to, you know, just one type of orange or one type of blue in my watercolour making containers. This is purple. It's a strange looking purple. But what I did was I added, you know, you can see light blue, dark blue, medium blue. Yeah, this is my purple. It's more of a bluey purple, I would think. And we might add a bit of red to that one in the middle. Just even when you just touch the edge, then it bleeds into it. Remember how we talked last week when we talked about using wet on wet, which is a watercolour term. So that means we have a wet surface and we add wet paint to it. And you can see how it bleeds beautifully and it creates beautiful shapes. And if you tip it different directions, then it can drain down there as well. So that's why it's good to keep it on a fairly flat surface, unless of course you want it to start doing all of these lovely things. So I'm just going to add one more large one here, and then we might start adding some small ones around the place. The small ones are fun to do, because what I do is I normally just create filled circles of watercolour paint. And we might do another one in there. And then you can notice that I'm washing my brush out between every colour. That's so that we don't end up with it contaminating the others. So we keep all of our colours pure. So I've filled up my brush with red and I'm just going to drop it in the middle. Drop, drop, drop. Oh, there's a nice little splatter. I like how you get those happy little accidents. Now, what's another one that we can do? We might do some blue spots. You can see how I'm choosing the spaces where I put them. And I'm not necessarily putting them right next to where I've got other blues as well. So I'm thinking about where I'm going to add these spots. Now, blue ones, I might add red again. So we're just dropping it into the middle and just letting it spread and do its thing. I might add some green. I haven't done any green yet. One there. One there. One there. And we might do one here. And what shall I drop into those? I might do some blue. Oops, and on my board too. Just dropping a dot in the middle. And we might leave it at that, I think. So that one will need to be put aside to dry before we do anything else to it. Okay, so we might pop this one over here. And here is one that I did yesterday. So what we're going to do, once it dries, I'll show you the splodge that I did earlier. There we go. I did this one, pink and yellow, and then dropped some red on there accidentally on my way over. Never mind. Actually creates quite a nice shape. So we don't need our watercolour anymore. What we do need is a fine liner. Now it can be just a black pen, could be a black texter, that will work fine. Even a pencil, like a black pencil, will work too. So we have choices here. With all of these spots and circles, we have choices as what we can turn them into. Now I've come up with a couple of different suggestions and I might do a couple of examples for you. One is we can turn them into flowers, and another one is I thought we could turn them into monsters as well. so you can have your choice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few of each. I might do a few flowers on this one and a few monsters on the other one, and then I might post the finished pieces on Facebook later today, because I think I might enjoy doing these, and it might take up too much of your time if you watch me do all of it. So I'm going to start off with this pink one. Now I'm going to start with a flower, and I'm going to start with a circle in the middle. And then I might do, oh, can you see? No. And another one. I'm going to get another stand too, guys, so that you can see more of my art in other weeks. Instead of my head and all of my studio, and just a little bit of the art. Some petal shapes. That's my start. And I might just do an outline around these. So it's kind of a bendy shape. It's almost like a leaf shape. I'll do another line inside. Lots of lines and patterns. You might be reminded of maybe the petals and the leaves that you found a couple of weeks ago when we were looking at Andy Goldsworthy's art. Might do a circle in the middle, a dot. Now we might add some extra leaves. I might actually turn these into leaves, I think. Oops, I think I might have moved this out of the screen again. Nearly. There we go. You can see the progression. You can see it's dried beautifully, these. All of the colour, how it's dispersed into the other colours. You get some beautiful shapes. I might leave it at this far, because I reckon you guys will be pretty good at drawing flowers. And we might move on to monsters next. They are lots of fun. I guess most of you guys are going to be back to school this week. So back to, well, different sort of school, online learning. Now we might trace around this one. We might do another line inside there. It's good then when you do these, that you don't actually fill the whole circle up with drawing and colouring, because you want to be able to see all of these beautiful watercolours that you've created coming through your drawing. I reckon you could easily spend the whole afternoon doing this, guys. Now, I reckon we might add some little twirly bits. These almost look like butterfly antennae. Or maybe the tendrils of a grapevine. I reckon that might just about do this one. That one. There we go. So there's one of my flowers. So if you can imagine all of these created and turned into flowers, you might keep the small ones quite basic in their flower patterns. You might just have the centre of the flower and maybe some petals. Now I'm going to grab this one, what I did earlier. I might turn this one into a monster, and we'll see how it looks. I'm going to start by giving it some shaggy fur. I think it would be much better if I had a screen right over the top of this, guys. Now I've decided that where this yellowy green colour is down the bottom, I'll incorporate that into my monster. This one's going to be a cute monster, not so much a scary monster, but you can make them however you like. Give him some legs. Now we might give him some ears in here and some close together eyes and a big goofy smile and some little arms. Oh, we might give him a little bit more fur. Okay, there's ears, bit of fur. There we go. There's our little monster. You can see him. I reckon we might do one more monster and then I might leave you guys to do some creating of your own. We might give this one some fur as well. I can hear the rain on my roof. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. I hope it's raining where you are too. Give him some legs. Oops, am I drawing out of screen again? No. And we might give this dude some horns. Horns with stripes. And we might give him a big open mouth with teeth, tongue, and colour that one in. And we might give him some big surprise looking eyes. Maybe he's scared himself. I think you might need ears too. Okay, oh, a bit more fur. Okay, there we go. There's my next monster. So 2 monsters. I'm going to keep doing some more of these, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say farewell to you and leave you to it so you can make a start on these. Now with the textures, I don't reckon it takes too long to actually create your watercolour. And some of you might be lucky enough to have watercolour paint at home already, in which case you can just go for it. Now remember, when you are using hard watercolour and you've got your brush, you need to twirl it gently on your paint. So twirling gently like a ballerina. And then create your colours and then let it dry, and then you can create either a page full of flowers or a page full of monsters, and I would love to see them. Thanks guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.